Chapter 2, The Name. After Janey had gone to bed that night, her parents were talking. "I see Janey's got hold of old Rupert's collar and lead," her father said. "Yes," her mother said. "She's been carrying it around all day. It's lying beside her bed now." "When I arrived home from work," her father said, "she was so engrossed with it, I don't think she even heard the car. She was walking around the lawn, dangling the collar and talking away to an imaginary animal. Every now and then she'd stop and say, 'Sit,' and then, after a bit, she'd say, 'Heel,' and walk on again." "I know. I can only think she must have a very vivid imagination to play a game like that for so long. Has she been pestering you to get a puppy?" "No. It would be nice though, David, wouldn't it? One day." "Another Great Dane?" "Of course." "Oh, come off it, Sally," Janey's father said. "They're awfully expensive to buy and awfully expensive to keep. I mean, these days, a decent Dane puppy costs over £300. You know that, do you?" "Well, yes, I just happened to notice an advertisement. And as for feeding a growing pup, well, you can reckon on over £600 a year." "So we can't afford one?" "No. You weren't seriously thinking of getting one?" "No." "Right then." At breakfast next morning they both noticed that the loop of the lead was round Janey's left wrist as she ate, the collar on the floor beside her. "Do we have to have that dirty old thing at the table?" her father asked. "He's not a dirty old thing," Janey said. "He? I'm talking about the collar and lead." "Oh, sorry, Dad, I thought you were talking about my dog." "It's a funny thing," her mother said, "but Daddy and I can't actually see a dog." "You wouldn't," said Janey. "He's invisible." "I see." "No, you don't, Mum. I mean, I hear what you're saying. By the way, what do you feed him on?" "Invisible food." "In an invisible dish?" "Naturally." "Think of the money you're saving," Janey's father said, "never having to fork out for dog meat or biscuits. Can't cost you a penny." "Of course it does, Daddy. When we go shopping today, you wouldn't believe how much I shall have to spend." "Invisible money?" "Of course." "Has he got a name, this invisible dog?" her mother asked. "Well, no, not yet," said Janey. "I haven't decided." "Have you decided what breed he is?" her father said. "Oh, honestly, Daddy," said Janey, "I should have thought that you'd have known a Great Dane when you saw one." "You could just call him Rupert," her mother said. "That's what's written on his collar after all." "No," said Janey. "I think this dog ought to have a different name, don't you?" "Oh yes," they said. "I mean, he's quite a different colour, isn't he?" "Is he?" they said. "Rupert was a fawn dog with a black mask," Janey's father said. "Whereas this one," Janey's mother said, is, well, what would you say, Janey?" "Black with white splodges," said Janey, "or white with black splodges, whichever you like to say." "A Harlequin Great Dane," they cried. "Of course!" "So he really needs a sort of black and white name, doesn't he?" "Like Magpie, you mean?" said her mother. "Or Zebra?" said her father. "Or Panda? Or Penguin?" "Yes," said Janey, "but I don't like any of those names. I think I'll just call him Spotty." "You can't!" they cried with one voice. "You can't call a Harlequin Great Dane Spotty. It's not dignified enough." "He's my dog," said Janey, and she put down a hand and stroked an invisible back. "So I can call you Spotty if I want to, or Tom, Dick or Harry." "He liked Harry," said Janey's father, looking down at the collar lying on the floor. "He wagged his tail a bit when you said Harry." Janie's mother raised her eyes to heaven. "Oh, honestly, David," she said, "you're as bad as she is. No doubting where she gets it from." "Harry," said Janie, "I quite like that." "Or perhaps Henry," said her father. "That's a bit more dignified." "Henry," said Janie. "Henry, yes, you're right, Daddy." "He's wagging his tail like mad now." "Henry it is."